Hey guys, Cheyanne here. I just realized that it is almost a whole week after my first half marathon and I have not told you guys about it yet. So if you've been following my Facebook post, you probably have seen that yes, I did finish it. I did cross that finish line. I haven't posted a whole lot about it except other than that, but there was actually a whole lot that went down that morning and everything that led up to it. So I figured I'd make a quick video for you guys to watch and kind of learn a little bit more about my experience. So when I first signed up for my half marathon back in, I believe it was February, I did not realize that it was a trail running half marathon, or I should say how different it would be than a regular half marathon. It being my first, it definitely felt hard either way, but now that I've joined the infamous marathon running community, I found out that trail running is actually more difficult because you're not on a flat road. Like typically most half marathons, they're run by cities, and so they shut down the roadways for a little while and you're running on flat pavement, concrete, sometimes up hills and things like that, but at least you're on a flat surface. Well, trail running is a whole nother beast altogether because most of the times the trails are not very wide, so they're thin. Some of the trails I was on, you definitely had to do single file, which is tough when you're trying to race. There's rocks, there's dirt, there's animals, there's all kinds of things you had to worry about. But on the flip side, you got to see the most amazing landscape. I mean, when I was running in the morning, there was fog going over the mountains, and I was running in Temecula, California, which is the Southern California wine country. And so I got to see all these beautiful vineyards, and it was just incredible. But what's kind of funny and very unique about my first half marathon running experience is nothing against the one that I did, but they were a little disorganized. It was their second annual, so I'll give it to them. I'll give them that. It was only their second year they did it. Well, all of us ladies crossed, the start line, started going, and all of us, all 300 of us, actually missed the one turn that was a half a mile in. The trail just wasn't marked very well, and so all of us started running on a different trail, and the fast girls that were out front turned around, and all of a sudden us other girls are like, what's going on? So ran on back. We're all trying to figure out which trail goes where because there's all kinds of trails. We're in this big, natural forest park. And finally, the guy that's leading the whole half marathon comes by with his truck and is like, come on, come follow me. Starts us back at the half mile mark. Our times are still going, gathers us all up and says, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. We didn't really mark it very well, but this is where you're supposed to go. Well, at this point, this is the half mile point. This is where we're only supposed to have already run half mile. Most of us had run about 5 miles at that point. So we are exhausted thinking, are you kidding me? We have another 12 and a half miles after this. Well, they ended up cutting the trail a little short. So by the time we actually ended up finishing, most of us actually had ran over 14 miles. So I had my GPS going on my phone and I ran 14.1, exactly a mile over a half marathon. So instead of doing 13.1, did 14.1. So I looked at it as a training towards my eventual marathon I'm going to run someday, which is a goal of mine. And so I kind of learned how to make the best of it and the experience, and while I was going, I was just going to smile my way through it. And I think the highlight of it all was as I was coming around the bend, around the last corner, some of you guys know that my parents now both officially live here in California, and my parents met me about 100 yards from the finish line, and they both grabbed my hands and we ran across that finish line together. And it was just so awesome, especially it being on my dad's birthday. So yeah, sorry Dad, you had to wake up at 4 a.m. on your birthday and watch me run, but it was wonderful, a great family time, and I had a good time. So now I'm already thinking about my future races. I have 2 so far. I have a 10K I'm running for Children's Pediatric Cancer Research in September, and then I have the infamous LA Triathlon in October. So I have a lot more to update you guys on all my training methods and all that, but until then, thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope I'm encouraging you guys to do your own races. Love y'all.